I had a phone call earlier, a few days ago, earlier in the week, from an agent who works on our team. And he said, hey, I am representing a seller. The buyer's getting an FHA loan. And I'm just realizing that if during the period during which they can ask for inspection repairs, if we agree to make inspection repairs, that we still have some exposure in that regard, because the FHA appraiser could also say, we need you to do some repairs as well, and now we've agreed to do repairs, and then we're being required to do more repairs. So it's, in other words, we thought we negotiated everything with the buyer in good faith, and now we're realizing, uh-oh, we've got somebody else who can tell us what to do. And Tammy, I have to tell you, like, I felt like a father having a pride moment, meaning I am so proud of my agent because he is learning the reason that people need real estate agents in the first place. They don't need real estate agents to tell them what they like and what they don't like. They don't need to tell real estate agents to tell them what price they're willing to take. They need somebody to tell them what he's probably going to give them. But it's up to us as adults, any of us who can make our own decisions. Give me the facts. You know what? If I want to do something wrong, I'm a grown-up. I'm entitled to do that. But what my agent was doing is saying, if we do this, then there is an issue that could take place later in the transaction. And so this little segment of the show is details matter. Talk about that from your perspective, because I know I listen to you have conversations with clients quite often, and you are very, very detailed in how you communicate to them. Where have you seen in your real estate business this over-communication, this really thinking ahead for the future? Where have you seen it be something really, really positive, and where have you seen a lack of it in maybe other people's businesses that's been a real negative?
Well, I'll tell you one that I had just a couple of days ago. So this landlord wanted to list his home for lease December 17th. And because the HOA bylaws of the community said he couldn't lease his home until 1 year that he's lived in the property, or 1 year that he's owned the property. So they told him he couldn't market it. He wanted to hire a listing agent, so he could get a tenant in there on December 17th.
ASAP.
Through an email from his HOA, he was led to believe that meant he couldn't start marketing until December 17th. So when I read the HOA bylaws, I said, it doesn't say you can't market. Marketing to lease and leasing are two different things. And so someone, the HOA representative, the human in that, used her own interpretation and could have cost this landlord a month or two or even more.
Of no rent.
And that's harm.
Of no rent. That is such a great example. So just because the HOA representative thought it was one way, and just because the owner of the home thought it was one way, the same way, because that's where he had gotten his idea, does not mean that's the way it is. And it is fascinating. I get questions from real estate agents all the time, and I know this probably happens to you, and they ask a question, and I want to say to them, I want to and go, why don't you read the contract? Could we start there by digging into the details? Because they don't understand it. And so those real estate professionals who dig into the details and continue to look and look and look until they expose the potential issues, or they do this or they do that, those are the ones who are ultimately worth the money that they get paid. Would you agree with that?
I would agree with that. And I love the story of your agent on your team, because that meant he knew what phase 3 was while he was still in phase 1.
And the buyers are still in phase -1. They don't understand anything. I think the moral of the story is that you need someone who continues to think through details about what's going on today and dig till they find it, ask questions till they find it. But you also need someone who thinks about the details that come after today's details.